This week we have Pluto, planet of power, control, death, rebirth, transformation, and regeneration, turning back to direct motion at 27 degrees of Capricorn. We have Mars, the warrior planet, planet of energy, action, and forward movement, moving out of Libra and into Scorpio. And we have a new Moon Solar Eclipse at 21 degrees of Libra, powerful new beginnings. All of this and more in this week's Intuitive Astrology Empowered Moments video for the week of Monday, October 9th through Sunday, October 15th. Hello everyone, this is Colleen Lemma, Starseed Astrologer and Spiritual Messenger from Sacred Soul Empowerment, here with my new Intuitive Astrology Empowered Moments video for the week of Monday, October 9th through Sunday, October 15th, 2023. So for this week's weekly reading, we're going to be using the Psychic Tarot Oracle cards. This is by John Holland for the main message for the collective. Your special message card this week, depending on your stone of choice, is going to be coming from the Gateway of Light Activation deck by Kyle Gray. So before we get into looking at your stones of choice for that special message card or any of the astrology, let's go ahead, settle in, and do an empowered moment. So if you close your eyes, relax your body, clear your mind of all thoughts. Take a couple of deep breaths, inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. And with each inhale, you're breathing in unconditional love and light and peace and compassion. And with each exhale, you're releasing and letting go of all that your body, mind, and soul no longer needs. Seeing that beautiful etheric golden white light all around you, allowing it to penetrate through every cell of your body, merging itself with all of your chakras, energy bodies. Taking in a deep breath to breathe in that etheric golden white light into every cell. And as you exhale, imagine a grounding cord going down through the layers of Earth Mother Gaia, all the way down to her crystalline heart chakra, the center of the earth. Imagine and visualize that Earth Mother Gaia gently takes your grounding cord and plugs it into her heart chakra. And as you inhale, breathing up with intention her nurturing, mothering, healing elixir of light. Breathing it all the way up through your grounding cord. As you exhale, it's being dispersed throughout all of your energy bodies, up through all of your chakras, intermingling with that etheric golden white light of Source God Creator. And let's focus our attention and intention on the idea of this new moon solar eclipse that we have on October 14th. New moons are about new beginnings, initiation, and planting new seeds. And the fact that this is an eclipse, a solar eclipse, is going to magnify and intensify the energies. Now this new moon solar eclipse is in Libra, the sign of partnerships, relationships, balance, equality, compromise. And so we're focused on the idea within all of our relationships that there is equal give and take, that we have balance, that we have proper communication, loving communication, but yet communication that maybe needs to happen. Perhaps there's an imbalance and inequality or disempowerment in certain relationships, and this can include romantic or friendship or family, even work relationships. And Libra wants to keep the peace, but yet Libra desires equality, mutual empowerment, mutual satisfaction. And so let's go into this week with the intention that we communicate our needs with all of the other people in our lives in order to try to regain a sense of equilibrium, mutual empowerment, and again, mutual satisfaction. And let's also focus on Libra being the balance within ourselves and the relationship with ourselves. Calling in those angels, guides, and teachers of the highest vibration of light that can help to guide us into that balance. Balance of our masculine and feminine, balance of our ego self and higher soul self, to attain that peace within. Again, to find that equilibrium, physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. So let's set these intentions and other personal intentions that you might have for this new moon solar eclipse this week. Let's breathe that in deeply into every cell of your body. And as you exhale and in your own time, you can open your eyes and return to this time and place and space. And let's go ahead and take a look at our stones of choice for this week. I chose 3 powerful stones for this powerful new moon solar eclipse. So the first one here, this is a record keeper ruby. And it's a raw piece, right? So it's not tumbled and polished. It's actually a raw piece of ruby, and it's pretty thick, both sides here. Usually ruby has this interesting kind of shape, geometric shape to it. But this is a record keeper ruby. And the record keeper ruby, it contains ancient wisdom programmed by the Atlanteans and Lemurians of the highest vibration of light in order to pass on knowledge. This has got the divine embodiment of love, the activation of the heart chakra. It dissolves emotional congestion. It helps one to become a vehicle of divine love and opens the doorway to spiritual knowledge. Let's put that one down and let's take a look at the second stone. The second stone, this is beautiful as well. I'm going to try to hold it in the middle so you can actually see that this is a double terminated quartz crystal. It's very clear. And this is polished, obviously. This is not raw, but it's polished. And this is a double terminated. You can see the points on either side. And because it's double terminated, it's both a transmitter and a receiver of energy, which represents balance and reminds us of the need for both give and take, for equal give and take. It helps us with deep meditation, vivid dream states, and expansion of conscious awareness. This double terminated quartz crystal, it also harmonizes higher vibrational energies in our aura and in our light bodies. Okay, and then look at stone number 3. This is a piece of sugilite. It's a pretty large, wonderful piece, and I'll show you the other side too. So this piece of sugilite, it's a purple stone. It's a very deep, dark purple stone. It's a stone of forgiveness and personal enlightenment. It promotes emotional healing and peace of mind. It activates the crown chakra for unconditional love and compassion. That sounds like the heart chakra, so I'm going to say it activates the heart chakra and the crown chakra. The crown chakra is that personal enlightenment, and the heart chakra, the higher heart chakra, is that unconditional love and compassion. There's a connection to the violet flame energy of purification and transmutation of karma and lower energies and attachments. And the violet flame to me is always connected to Saint Germain, the ascended master and teacher. So again, whoops, excuse me. Excuse me. Our stones of choice: the record keeper ruby, the double terminated clear quartz, and the sugilite. All right, let's put those aside. Let's talk about the astrology. There's a lot of astrology going on this week. So we start on Monday, October 9th, with Venus, planet of the divine feminine energy. She's in Virgo now. She's finally left Leo as of last week, where she was for many weeks because of that retrograde cycle. But now she's in Virgo. And Virgo is it's a healing sign. It's a service-oriented sign. It's also a sign that rules work and health and logic and analysis and discernment. So Venus, ruler of that divine feminine archetype, is going to be a little bit more discerning when it comes to money matters and relationship matters. But on Monday, she's actually opposing Saturn, which is the ruler of karmic lessons, the ruler of responsibility, the ruler of having to have patience because things might be moving pretty slowly. And Saturn is in Pisces. Now, Saturn spends 2.5 years in each sign, and it is actually in retrograde motion. It's going to retrograde all the way back to 0 degrees of Pisces as of sometime in November. So it's just in the first few degrees of this 2.5 years that it's going to spend in Pisces. So Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac, right? It is about past lives and karmic lessons, and it's about connection to universal energies and angels and guides, the spirit realm. Pisces can rule fantasy, imagination, and miracles, but it can also rule escapism and addiction. So back to Monday, when Venus is opposing Saturn, this could cause some feelings of restriction and limitation within this divine feminine energy that's already in this nitpicky kind of critical and judgmental Virgo energy. And this is mostly towards self. Venus rules how we value ourselves and our sense of self-worth. So now she might be a little bit more critical of herself. She might be a little bit more judgmental. And Saturn, it's possible that Saturn could increase that even more because of its limiting restrictive effects anyway. Now, an opposition normally plays out in relationships with other people. So this is going to be a reflection sort of energy that we're playing off of with other people. But conversely, Saturn in Pisces is helping us to, I feel like it's helping us to clear old past life karmic lessons and old past life karmic patterns and situations. So with this opposition to Venus, there could be a positive effect as well. It could be highly healing, since Pisces is a healing sign. Virgo is a healing sign. The difference here is that Pisces is more spiritual healing, and Virgo, it tends to be more mental healing or practical healing. But nonetheless, there can be healing of the divine feminine here. So let's just focus our intention on that part rather than the restrictive and limiting part. On Tuesday the 10th, we have Pluto, planet of transformation, regeneration, death and rebirth. He's known as the Great Transformer. He can deal with power and control issues, and he's at a standstill and turning back to direct motion at 27 degrees of Capricorn on Tuesday. Now, that means for about a week or so previous to that, so if you're watching this early, we're going back into the previous week, we're going to start feeling the effects of Pluto slowing down and stationing, stopping, coming to a standstill. It's going to intensify and magnify the energies of Pluto. So again, magnifying death and rebirth energies. magnifying power and control issues, possibly, magnifying our sense of taking back our power and empowering ourselves, magnifying transformation and regeneration like the phoenix, rising from the ashes, born anew. So this is a very powerful time period with this planet turning direct. Also on Tuesday, we have the sun in Libra, the partnership sign of Libra. We're in Libra season, and it's opposing Chiron, the wounded healer. So that happens on the same day that Pluto's turning direct. So, we're already going through this intense energy of Pluto turning direct, and now we have the sun in relationship-oriented, partnership-oriented Libra opposing Chiron, which brings up these past life karmic wounds in regards to our sense of self, because he's in Aries. So this is probably going to play out in relationships as well. It's an opposition. So this is like self versus other. What do? Do I focus on my wants, my needs, my desires, or do I focus on everybody else's wants, needs, and desires with Libra? This is also bringing up our karmic wounds regarding self-confidence and identity and independence and individuality with Chiron and Aries. Again, we're playing that out in our relationships in some way, shape, or form. And then on Wednesday the 11th, Mars, planet of forward movement, energy, action. Mars is the warrior planet. He's moving into Scorpio. So now he's leaving Libra behind and moving into Scorpio, which is deep and intense and sometimes full of secrets or things that are hidden beneath the surface of our subconscious. Scorpio is very occult and metaphysical, and it can really help us to understand what's going on deep within the essence of our soul. But Mars is that act or react, fight or flight kind of energy. And actually Scorpio is one of Mars's ruling signs. We think of Scorpio being ruled by Pluto. So first of all, it's interesting that Pluto is turning back to direct motion and is the modern ruler of Scorpio. But in ancient astrology, in ancient times, Mars was the ruler of Scorpio because we had not yet discovered Pluto. So now Mars is moving into its co-ruling or one of its home signs. So there's a lot of this scorpionic kind of energy of transformation and, again, death and rebirth and shifting on a deep inner soul level that's happening. Now Mars is going to be in Scorpio for the next few weeks. So it's going to be channeling its intense, passionate energy in this sign. And it's very fixed. It's very kind of a stubborn energy. Scorpio is fixed, and so it won't give up. It won't give in. It's determined. And Mars, the warrior, is already determined. So we're going to be really determined in some area of our life, depending on where that's transiting your astrological chart. As far as, just really not throwing in the towel, not giving up, being persistent, being determined. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. Now, I will say too that Mars can rule assertiveness or aggression or anger, and Scorpio, again, its co-ruling sign, can be prone to manipulation and abusive tendencies. So we do have to be careful for that combination, and depending on how it's playing out in your life. On Thursday the 12th, we have Mercury, the planet that rules the mental realm, in Libra, peaceful, balanced Libra, and it's going to be in conjunct to Jupiter. Now, Mercury rules kind of the ego mind. It's our thoughts, ideas, perceptions, communications from more of a ego personality standpoint. Jupiter kind of expands into this kind of higher mind. Jupiter likes to expand into this philosophical viewpoint, spiritual viewpoint, looking at the big picture. So we have to make some adjustments here with this Mercury and Jupiter aspect, and an inconjunct is a little bit difficult and challenging because the elements that they're in have nothing in common. Libra is where Mercury is, and it's all about, again, the mind and the mental realm and communication. And Taurus is where Jupiter is. And Taurus is very grounded, earthly, fixed, focused, stubborn, doesn't want to sway his belief systems, doesn't want to move out of his comfort zone of how he's viewing something. But this is asking us to maybe, again, shift our perspective a little bit. On Friday the 13th, yes, Friday the 13th, we have Mars newly in Scorpio, and it's in a positive connection to Saturn and Pisces. This can really help us to ground in and focus on something, even though Saturn's in Pisces. Saturn's still a very grounded, focused planet. And so I feel like if you're trying to put your energy and efforts towards something, and you're trying to manifest something in 3D reality, that's a great day to actually go about putting your energy and effort towards something to do that. On Saturday, the 14th, this is when we have that new moon solar eclipse, and it's at 21 degrees of Libra. So new beginnings, intensified and magnified because it's an eclipse. In Libra, the sign of relationships and partnerships. There's something new that's being initiated or something new brewing in the area of all different types of relationships, and even your relationship with yourself, relationship with the universe, relationship with the divine, but definitely relationships with other people, where we're looking again for that balance, equality, mutual empowerment, mutual support. Now, that solar eclipse is connecting to Mercury, so communication is going to be important. It's opposing Chiron, the wounded healer, so that communication is maybe going to help us iron out some old wounds that we're dealing with, or that the relationships in our lives are dealing with. And then that solar eclipse is also going to connect to both Uranus and Neptune, the outer planets, Uranus and Neptune, by an inconjunct, which again is a little bit challenging, a little bit difficult. We have to make some adjustments. So in a nutshell, we can say we have to make some adjustments in our relationships in order to feel more liberated and free, which is Uranus, and in order to feel like we're more spiritually connected, either to the other person or persons in the relationship, or more connected to our own soul. So again, making some adjustments there. Now, also on the same day, Saturday the 14th, when we have this new moon solar eclipse, Mercury is opposing Chiron. We kind of sort of mentioned that in a way with the fact that the solar eclipse connects with both Mercury and Chiron. But Mercury and Chiron are exactly opposing one another. So again, this is playing out in relationships. Communication is important, sharing your thoughts, sharing your opinions, even if it's difficult, which it probably is because Chiron brings up our wounds, but it might be necessary with this new moon of new beginnings in order to have kind of a fresh start, or a blank slate, or clean the slate if there's some ongoing challenges in relationships. And maybe that is, let's air out all of the grievances basically, and let's see if we can give some fresh new perspectives and start anew. So, relationships are definitely a focus right now, with it being Libra season. I will say on Sunday the 15th, let's round out the astrology, the sun in Libra is going to be in conjunct Uranus. And again, Uranus can bring change, redirection, sudden unexpected shifts, freedom and liberation. So I think in our relationships, we're definitely wanting more balance and equality, but we're also feeling maybe this nudge towards wanting to be more independent in some ways, or feel more free or liberated to be our own selves and do our own things. It doesn't necessarily mean that we want to throw in the towel on the relationship and end it, although that is potential and possibility for some relationships out there, depending on the ability to communicate to each other and what your needs are, and then the other person's receptiveness to be able to do any work involved to shift and evolve within the relationship. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the messages from our angels and guides here. So let's take the first card here and turn it over. We've got the Six of Emotional. Now, in the Psychic Tarot, they don't deal with wands and swords and cups and pentacles. They deal with physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual as the suits. So this is like the Six of Cups because it's the Six of Emotional. And the Six of Cups, you can see at the bottom, it says memories of love. So it does deal with memories of the past. This can be memories from our childhood. And again, maybe where some of those old wounds started. This could be memories of happiness and joy from our childhood, where we want to get back to that state of enthusiasm and childlike play and wonder and joy. This could also be memories from past lives on an emotional body level, where we're operating through the emotional body. Maybe we're not consciously aware of what those past lives are all about, those situations from another time and place, but we're operating on an emotional level through those memories. This could be about home and family matters. The Six of Cups is often about children or home and family, emotional connections that we have. So all of this, and also I would say just tuning into your own emotional body. You can see that, there's a lot of candles, here that are sitting in the water, and it makes me feel like there's healing, potential for healing that's going on, or a need for healing that's going on. So again, maybe healing with home and family matters, healing with children, healing with those that we're very strongly emotionally connected to, that we feel are a part of our family, and healing of past life situations that are going on. So let's go ahead and take a look at, they're saying mothering and nurturing. So the number 6 is about kind of mothering and nurturing self. So they're talking about self-care, to mother and nurture yourselves through self-care at this time, which makes sense with some of the stronger energies we have. Pluto turning direct, Mars going into Scorpio, and Thursday, Friday will be kind of in the dark of the moon phase before the new moon solar eclipse, which is a lot of times pretty intense. So make sure you're nurturing and loving yourselves through self-care. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second card. Okay, the second card, we have a chakra card here. This is the root chakra, the base chakra or root chakra. Now, the root chakra deals with matters of security, stability, feeling grounded. It can be about fight or flight energy, which is interesting because Mars is going into Scorpio this week, and Mars rules, as far as from a planet perspective, Mars rules the root chakra because Mars is that kind of fight or flight energy. And Mars is known as the red planet, and the root chakra is the color of red. So Mars going into Scorpio, this might again unearth some matters dealing with your own sense of inner security, stability. Could be dealing with some financial matters. It could be dealing with feeling like a lack of protection and wanting to feel like that spiritual protection so that we're grounded and centered and self-assured. They're also talking about, they're kind of relating this to Mars. Mars rules kind of our sexuality, sexual responses. Venus is more sensual. Venus is more magnetic and sensual, and Mars is more of that physical, sexual sort of attraction. And with the root chakra, this could be activating, especially moving into Scorpio. And with Pluto turning direct and Pluto being the modern ruler of Scorpio, this could be activating the Kundalini energy, which is, something that starts at the root or base chakra and kind of spirals up through all of our chakras. So if you know what Kundalini energy is, be prepared for that possibility. And if you don't know what it is, then I would definitely suggest, because we could do a whole video on discussing Kundalini energy, but look it up. This is kind of activating this life force energy. To me, the Kundalini is like your life force energy, and it's activating that. All right, let's take a look. The last card came out as 2 cards, so let's look at the first. Okay, the first is the 3 of spiritual. The 3 of spiritual, but it says partnerships and alliances on the bottom. So this is definitely bringing in the idea of relationships in some capacity. It's not necessarily romantic per se, or just romantic. This can be, work associations. This could be friendship alliances or partnerships. This could even, again, be partnership with your own higher self or the divine. And the number 3 is about growth of numerology. So there's something growing and expanding here. And I feel like we can grow and expand our creative self-expression because it's like the wand suit, and wands is spiritual energy and creative energy, inspirational energy. So here we can kind of expand our creative and inspirational energy through connecting with new people or connecting with other people that we already know. It's going to be beneficial, connecting with people of like mind that are of, the positive frame of mind, that are focused on spirituality, like this is the suit of spiritual. So focusing on spiritual evolution and growth. This is going to aid you in some way, shape, or form. It's going to bring in some sort of blessings or opportunities. Blessings and opportunities are keywords for the number 3. So this is actually a very good message, but let's see what card came out with it. Okay, well, of course, this is Major Arcana 6, and it says harmony at the bottom, but in the traditional tarot, this would be the Lover's card. So now this is also bringing in not just work associations, family and friends, alliances, but this is also including romantic relationships as well. Now, the Lover's card is oftentimes about opportunity or choices, not opportunity, but choices. It's about like needing to make decisions and maybe being presented with 2 paths or 2 potential choices and needing to kind of make up your mind which way you want to go. Now, the number 6 is all about balance, and it's interesting because we had the 6 of emotional here, which is like the 6 of cups, and now we have the 6th major arcana, which is the Lover's card or harmony here. So the 6, it's like a 6-pointed Star of David, like an upward pointing triangle with 3 points and a downward pointing triangle with 3 points that are intersected that create this Merkaba energy, as above, so below. And it is all about balance of the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And I say divine masculine and divine feminine, where there's harmony here between the 2. So I'm going to say again, all sorts of relationships here are going to be a focus this week. And some of it might be for opportunities in your career or business or growth or new friendships and whatnot. Some of it is in regards to the healing in relationship matters and making some decisions in relationship matters. Okay, we want mutual equality, mutual support, mutual love, right? We don't want it to be out of balance. We want it to be in harmony and in balance with our significant emotional relationships, okay? And again, if you're not in a romantic relationship, significant emotional relationships are just one-on-one relationships with somebody that we strongly care about. So it could be a friend or a family member, okay? Let's take a look at the message from your angels and guides depending on your stone of choice. So that first stone of choice was that raw ruby. All right, so let's see. And I chose this deck because of the solar eclipse, this gateway of light activation. So we're going to see what's activated for you with this solar eclipse energy for the raw ruby people. Raw ruby people. Okay, this one's calling my attention. Pleiadian activation. Pleiadian activation, you starseed people out there. And it says at the bottom, coming together. So here we are with relationships and groups of like-minded people again. Coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolution. So this Pleiadian activation energy is bringing things into a harmonious balance for for you in some way, shape, or form, situationally, in your circumstances, in your relationships, and just energetically within yourself. If you felt kind of off a little bit or discombobulated, this Pleiadian activation, this message is saying that, you know, your star family of the light, your guides and angels of the light, they're trying to assist you in recalibrating and rebalancing yourself. Something may be coming to resolution, whatever that might be. Some situation in your life might have the unfolding of an end result, you know, in some way, shape, or form. And the coming together can either mean coming together again with people in your life, new people, people that are already friends or connected to you. But I also just heard that there's, again, going back to like the healing and rebalancing and realigning of the self, that there's a coming together of things that were splintered off, like aspects of your soul from other past life situations and circumstances where there was a split off because of a trauma or something. It's like coming back together. The pieces are coming back together. And whether that is, you know, the split pieces or fragments of your soul coming back together, they're also saying that certain situations where puzzle pieces were maybe missing, that there's a coming together of those pieces. Things are starting to come together so that there's more clarity as well. All right, let's put that back in the deck in case somebody else gets it. The second card is for the double terminated quartz crystal people. Double terminated quartz crystal people. Special message for the week. I'm gonna shuffle a couple more times. I didn't see anything jump out at me. Okay, this one. Oh boy. I'm gonna pull two and then I'm gonna divine. I don't want to look at them though in the camera. Okay, so pulling two, putting them down, gonna divine this one or this one, this one. All right, so this one says Seraphim's Gateway. Seraphim's Gateway. So the seraphim are a level of angels, right? The seraphim and cherubim. So what does it say at the bottom? It says voice activation. Okay, if you're needing to speak your truth, it's coming. Open your mouth and speak your truth. Say what you need to say. This could also be a channeling voice activation that's happening. And whether that's an audible voice activation channeling, this could also be automatic writing to where your voice is kind of being activated in your head, but it's coming out through pen and paper and writing. It also says angelic attunement and divine support. So the seraphim, again, angels, a level of angels here that are coming in to assist you at this time. They're a high level of the angelic realm. And it seems like they are your divine supporters right now. When I look at this, when I turn it around and look at this shape, you know, I know that this is the seraphim, but it almost reminds me of like a dragonfly. Can you see where I can see that with the gold here? It almost looks like a dragonfly energy. And as totems go, the dragonfly is about trusting in the power of light, which is a great message from the angels as well, right? So trust in the power of light, trust in the divine, trust that your angels and guides are showing you the way, giving you the answers, guiding you, protecting you. And again, it's going to be very important to use your voice. There's a lot of beautiful pastel colors here. We've got like a green, a pink, looks like green, pink, and yellow, and a little bit of purple here at the top, but very pastel-y, which is Libra colors are usually pastel colors anyway, although I do like bold colors, but that's a different part of my astrology chart. I am a Libra. But this is kind of light and bright. You know, it makes me, those pastel colors makes me feel light and bright and airy and just tuned into and connected to the angelic realm. So activate that throat chakra and speak your truth. All right. And ask the angels to help you speak your truth. All right. And then the last stone of choice is the sugilite. Sugilite. Special message for sugilite people for this week of the solar eclipse. Sugilite people. Sugilite. Okay, nothing's jumping out, so I'm going to shuffle it another couple times. Sujulite. Let's tune in for Sujulite. The one on the bottom wants to come out. Order of Melchizedek. The Order of Melchizedek. That says, embraced by light, mission uncovered, and don't give up. So Melchizedek was an ascended master. He's an ascended master. He lived an earthly life. The Order of Melchizedek is actually I guess you could say a branch of priesthood. I've been ordained. Actually, I am an ordained minister under the Order of Melchizedek. I don't talk about that a lot, and it happened back in 1996 or 97. Okay, I got it out. But the Order of Melchizedek, again, it's like a priesthood. So you're being kind of, what do I want to say? Activated, initiated was the word I was looking for. You're being initiated into like a higher calling, okay? Maybe you're being called to go and get ordained as a priest or minister, but even more so, you're being called to activate your higher calling as the Order of Melchizedek here. Your path is enhanced by the light. The first phrase says enhanced by the light. So you are enhanced by the light. Your path is enhanced by the light. Your journey, your soul journey is enhanced by the light. It says mission uncovered. So you're going to be more aware of what your soul's mission is. You're going to be more connected. Spirit is going to guide you, or you're going to be meeting the right people at the right time for your spiritual mission to be uncovered. Now, sometimes I think we have more than one spiritual mission, depending on how you look at it. We might have a personal spiritual mission as far as the soul evolution, of who we are as a light being, but we can also have a mission on this planet, a mission on this earth. What are we here to do? How are we sharing our gifts with the world? So either way, there's some sort of mission that's being uncovered for you. And the last phrase again says, don't give up. So again, if you've been having a struggle, if you've been feeling held back or limited, if you've been feeling like things just aren't happening, persevere, stay determined and persevere, taking one step at a time. But it looks like something's being activated really soon here. And I would say probably with this new moon solar eclipse. And by the time we get to the end of the month with the full moon lunar eclipse, which is going to activate even more and activate some large, intense, magnified healing for all of us, then you're going to, again, move more into and onto your light path and what your soul's mission is all about. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm sending you all lots of love and light and many, many blessings for the new beginnings that are getting ready to unfold for you. Namaste.